Hi, everyone. Welcome to Family Chats, where my son and I sit down and talk about everyday life, school, hobbies, and everything in between. I'm Karen, and with me is my wonderful son, Alex.
Hey, everyone. You could say I'm the star of the show. Just kidding, but seriously, thanks for joining us.
Haha, well, I like to think of us as a team. So, Alex, today I thought we'd chat about something that I think a lot of parents and teens go through, balancing school, social life, and hobbies. You're 16 now, and you've got a lot going on. How are you managing it all?
Oh man, where do I start? Between school, soccer practice, video games, and hanging out with friends, I feel like I'm juggling 100 things. Sometimes, it's like I don't have enough time in the day.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people feel like that, no matter their age. So, how do you prioritize? What comes first on your list?
Well, if I'm being honest, soccer practice and hanging out with friends usually feel like top priorities. But I know school should come first. At least that's what you always tell me.
Yes, that's because school is important. I know it might not always feel like it, but your education sets you up for the future. What about homework? You sometimes wait until the last minute, don't you?
Yeah, I'm guilty of procrastinating. It's just that sometimes I get home, and the last thing I want to do is sit down with math or history. But then I remember I have deadlines, and, well, panic mode kicks in.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. Even as an adult, deadlines sneak up on me. But, I've found that breaking things into smaller tasks helps. Instead of looking at a huge project and feeling overwhelmed, try doing a little bit each day. Have you tried that?
I've tried, but I'll admit I'm not always successful. I think I just need more discipline. Plus, when you're hanging out with friends or gaming, it's easy to forget about all the responsibilities waiting for you.
I get it. It's hard to strike that balance between having fun and getting things done. Do you feel like you're getting better at it as you get older?
I think so. I mean, compared to when I was younger, I'm definitely more aware of how to manage my time, but I've still got a long way to go. Some days, I'm on top of everything, and other days, well, not so much. What about you, Mom? How did you handle all this when you were my age?
Well, back in my day, wow, I sound old now, don't I? We didn't have the same distractions. No smartphones, no constant social media, and definitely no online gaming. But like you, I had a lot going on. I was involved in sports, had a part-time job, and of course there was school. I think I learned pretty quickly that time management was key.
Did you procrastinate, though?
Oh, absolutely. I remember staying up late finishing assignments more than a few times. But I also learned from those experiences. The stress of doing everything last minute taught me to plan better. That's something you'll get better at too. It's a learning process.
Yeah, I think I'm still in the learning part of that process. But let's talk about hobbies. You always encourage me to explore my hobbies, even when I'm busy with school. Why is that?
I encourage hobbies because I believe they're important for your overall well-being. Hobbies let you unwind, express yourself, and sometimes even learn new skills that you might not get in school. They give you a break from the pressures of homework and exams.
That's true. For me, soccer is like my escape. When I'm on the field, I'm not thinking about anything else. It's just me, the ball, and my teammates. It clears my mind.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's important to make time for those things, even when life gets busy. It's about balance. What other hobbies do you think you'd like to try if you had the time?
Hmm, that's a good question. I've been thinking about learning to play the guitar. I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I never actually sat down and started.
That's awesome. Learning an instrument can be really rewarding. I played the piano when I was younger, and it taught me so much about patience and discipline. Plus, it's fun once you start getting the hang of it.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to just pick up the guitar and play a few songs. It'd also be a nice break from schoolwork. Maybe I'll start over the next school break.
That sounds like a plan. And speaking of breaks, I wanted to talk to you about screen time. I know you love gaming and hanging out online with your friends, but sometimes I worry you're spending too much time in front of a screen. What do you think about that?
I knew this was coming. I get where you're coming from, and I know you're worried about my screen time. But honestly, gaming is how I relax and connect with my friends. We're not just playing, we're chatting, strategizing, and it's fun. Plus, I've met people from all over the world.
I get that. I think it's amazing how connected the world is now, and I don't want to take that away from you. I just wonder if there's a limit. Too much screen time can affect your sleep and even your mood.
Yeah, I've read about that. I try to be mindful, but sometimes it's hard to pull away when you're in the middle of a game. I could probably cut back a little, though.
Maybe we can work on finding a balance. You can still enjoy your games, but maybe set a time limit so you're not staying up too late. Plus, it might give you more time to focus on other things like your guitar hobby or even just getting outside more.
Yeah, that's fair. I do need to get more fresh air. I feel like a vampire sometimes, sitting in my room for hours.
You and me both. It's easy to lose track of time when you're wrapped up in something. But I think we can agree that balance is the key to everything: school, hobbies, gaming, and even family time. Part 2. Navigating the teenage years. I've noticed that as you get older, we've had more conversations like this, and I really appreciate it. When you were younger, we talked about different things, school projects, favorite cartoons, but now we're having more grown-up discussions. How does it feel to be growing up?
Honestly, it's kind of weird. I mean, I feel like I'm in this in-between stage. I'm not a kid anymore, but I'm not quite an adult either. Some days, I feel like I've got everything figured out, and other days, I have no idea what's going on.
That's completely normal. Being a teenager can be confusing. You're figuring out who you are, what you believe in, and what kind of person you want to become. It's a big transition.
Yeah, and there's pressure too. Pressure from school, friends, even society. Like, I feel like I need to have everything planned out, but I don't. Everyone's asking me about college and what I want to do with my life, and sometimes I just want to focus on the present.
That's a really valid point. Society does put a lot of pressure on young people to have their futures figured out. But it's okay not to have all the answers right now. You've still got time to explore your interests and figure out what makes you happy. The important thing is that you stay open to learning and growing.
Yeah, I guess so. I just want to make sure I'm on the right path.
And you are. It's normal to feel uncertain sometimes, but trust that you're doing just fine. You've got a good head on your shoulders and you're learning as you go. Plus, your dad and I are always here to support you no matter what.
Thanks, Mom.